Hey, good night, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's Chelle. I realized as I was combing through my videos here, I realized that I have mentioned this particular bag a few times and I just never got around to really showing you guys the bag for a plethora of different reasons. Some of it being that I just physically didn't have the bag with me because for a while it was in storage. Then when I finally got the bag, I was just not remembering to film about it. So as you can see from the title, it is my vintage Chanel heirloom that I was passed down. So if you want to find out more about this bag in this video, keep watching. Alrighty guys, so this is Le Bag. She is from Le Chanel. As you can see, the CC's there embossed into the bag. It is an all leather bag. I believe it is lambskin leather because it's not grained at all. Like it's very smooth. I don't know if it's lambskin or calfskin. One of those two. The smooth one, whichever one's the smooth one, y'all. But I have had this bag, or I inherited this bag when I was 17. At that time, I really was not like a handbag girl. I was not as evolved as I am now. So I kind of understood the concept of it, like, oh my gosh, it's Chanel, but I didn't understand how truly expensive and how much it's worth. So there is there's actually a battle scar in it that I will get to at some point in this video to show you guys. Just a little backstory on it. I inherited it for around my 17th birthday, and I just remembered I was still in high school. I was a senior in high school, and I remembered like going to school, and a couple of my girlfriends were kind of like freaking out because they were just like, I guess they were like light years ahead of me because they were just like,
oh my gosh, like, bitch, you got Chanel.
and I was just like, okay, like it's just like a bag that I inherited, like that's cool. I just didn't understand, girl. I didn't understand the hype. I didn't understand what it was, what was happening. Because as you guys know, I say this literally 5,000 million times on my channel. I am more of a tote girl. So bags in this silhouette don't really fit my mold. It's not really something that I typically gravitate toward, grab for. But this particular bag, I mean, I've gone back and forth with it so many times where I'm just like, I want to sell it, but then I'm just like, it's a vintage heirloom, I shouldn't sell it, I should keep it. And I think finally, approaching 2020, I feel like I'm so happy that I chose to keep it, because I feel like I definitely, like, my taste is evolving as far as like designer and luxury goes. And I just feel like, I mean, I'm always going to be a tote girl, don't get me wrong, I'm always going to be a tote girl through and through, but I find myself liking different shapes and being interested in different bag silhouettes now. And it's really exciting because for years on end I didn't really touch anything but totes. I mean, the majority of my bag collection right now are literally totes. So this is the only, this and my recent Michael Kors bag that I purchased. If you have not seen that video, I will definitely link it somewhere for you to watch. But that newly acquired purse and this one are literally the only two different silhouettes that I have in my closet. And I just really want to change that coming this, you know, this new year coming. I just really want to expand a little bit more, have a little bit more variety. Like when I watch other people's bag collection videos, it's such a vast majority of different silhouettes. And just, of course, yeah, you have the people that tend to stick to what they're comfortable with and stick to what they like, but I want to be one of those people that get a little bit more adventurous with their bags. But I just feel like this is a bag that I might start reaching for a lot more in the spring, when maybe the weather changes, or like I said, I don't necessarily have to wait until spring to reach for this bag. I can reach for it now. Just to give you an idea, it can fit on my shoulder, but I don't think the silhouette of the bag is to be carried on the shoulder. I think it's more supposed to be carried at the crook of your arm or holding it like this. So I don't know. And then also, like, right now, like I mentioned before, again, I live up north, so we are in winter if you live in the United States. And if you live up north or anywhere that experiences snow or colder climates, you definitely know it's winter. So this is not gonna sit on my shoulder over my thick ass winter coat. So I would have to hold it like this over my coat, or like this, which I don't know, for some reason I'm not super comfortable with that. But I've been kind of carrying my Neverfull like that lately, because whenever it's stuffed to the brim, it's literally not sitting under my arm, which is what catapulted me to wanting the GM, because I'm just like, this MM girl, by the time I get through stuffing this MM, it's not staying on my shoulder over this big ass winter coat girl. So that's kind of like another reason I've moved into wanting the GM. But yes, now let's get into the specs of the bag as far as I know, and the little battle scars, period, plural, that I have discovered on this bag. Alrighty, so as you guys can see off rip, there is wear on the edgings of the bag. So over here is where it's the worst for me. It's the worst wear here, and then over on this side there is some wear as well. There are feet at the bottom of the bag, so that helps a lot in like saving the bottom. The feet definitely does help, but the sides I feel definitely took hits, and this is toward the front of the bag. There is some hits over here as well. I even noticed some slight tears in the leather here. Like, yeah, there's some slight tears in the leather here from like just friction and just, I want to say regular wear and tear, because I mean, this bag has been in my possession since I was 17. I just turned 26, and it has had a life long before it came into my possession. So I think for this to be kind of like the most significant damage or significant signs of wear that it has is not necessarily a bad thing. I've noticed over the years that this little strap thingy here, like this little flap thing, has kind of like dry rotted. I mean, that's the best way I could explain it. Like, it just kind of like ripped from here, and it seems like it kind of dry rotted, because the other side works perfectly fine. Like, I can probably snap it off just fine. I'm kind of nervous too, because I haven't handled this bag in so many years. So I don't know what she gonna do, girl. She unpredictable at this point. But this one, it's not like the other one. Like, it's still intact. I'm sure I could still snap it. I just don't really want to take that chance right now. And the biggest one, I think, I mean, it's big, but it's not that big, is the back handle here. So let me get into the story about what happened to this back handle. So like I said, like I told you guys earlier on in the video, I acquired this bag when I turned 17 on my 17th birthday. And it was the summer of that year when I vividly remember this. It's so weird how my memory works, because I literally can't remember shit for nothing. But I specifically remember how this bag acquired this battle scar. So it was the summer of my 17th year, and I remembered my family was visiting me from my country, and we were in the 34th Street subway station. I remembered this vividly. We were in the 34th Street subway station. I think we were headed toward Chinatown. And all of a sudden now, at that time in my life, I had this stainless steel water bottle that was literally like, it would double as a weapon, because whenever I had a full bottle of water, it was so heavy, girl. The thing weighed like 5 pounds with water in it. I'm positive. I'm positive it was 5 pounds. But whatever. I had that in here along with whatever other shit I had in here, girl. And this mofo gave way, girl. It gave way. The strap just boop. Strap popped off like Janet's top at the Super Bowl, girl. And you know, I was in a shambles. I was in a shambles because I was trying to figure out how I was finna survive the rest of the day. Like, obviously it was gonna be too much stress to just use one strap, girl. So my mom, being a mother, you know how old folk do. You know how older folk do, y'all. She had a safety pin in her purse. I have no idea why she had that big of a safety pin in her purse, but she was able to temporarily pin like the leather so that it held up until we got like back to our area so we can take it to our cobbler. Now, like I said, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, I was still very young and I didn't understand. It was like I knew it was a big deal because it's Chanel, but I didn't understand how big of a deal it was. So with that being said, we took the hoe to the cobbler and he did a fantastic job. I will say that myself. It's in the back side of the bag. So unless you're really grilling the shit out of my bag, I don't think you're gonna really notice this. Everything kind of looks cohesive. She just looks, you know, a little weathered and like she needs a special little touch. But he did a fabulous job of repairing it by tightly sewing the leather strap. Like this one, how it has this like leather wrapping around it, and then the Chanel rivet. I lost the rivet when it popped off in the subway station, girl. So couldn't find the rivet to get it back together. And he just stitched that leather right on up, child. Stitched it right on up. I think that's one of the most, like, I want to say permanent flaws of the bag, because I feel like even if I took it to the Soho boutique in New York and start like the paperwork to get it refurbished, this is such a vintage piece. I don't even think they're gonna be able to like find a rivet to replace that. I think it's just literally gonna have to remain this way. I mean, I would be shit shocked if they can find a way to fix it. I mean, we tend to think to ourselves, oh, it's the house. They're supposed to be able to fix whatever of theirs that you bring to them that's damaged because they've created it. But with time and as fashion changes and as different houses kind of upgrade what they want and how they want to make their bags, some materials just kind of get lost in the wayside. And I feel like trying to find a replacement rivet for this bag after how much ever umpteen years, it's just not gonna happen. I don't know. It does have a date code. Let me locate it as I take out the stuffing. I just try to like keep it somewhat shaped with some like stuffing, bag stuffing that I used to like grab from Michael Kors when I worked there. When we were throw it out when we get shipment and stuff like that, I would always ask my boss and she'd be like, yeah, knock yourself out. So I grabbed some stuffing, put it in a Louis Vuitton dust bag, and I've just been kind of like putting it in there to help keep the shape of the bag so it doesn't get misshaped. But this is the overview of it. Oh, child. She's dark. She's dark. But it has a back pocket here, and it says, if I can get to it, it says Chanel, made in Italy. And then there is, that's the back pocket. When you flip it around, there is a front pocket over here, if you can see the zipper pull. And it also comes with like one of those you know those OG like bags where they had the little thing for your flip phone? They had the little pocket for your flip phone, girl. It got that. It also has a strap, like a leather strap with a, is this called a lobster clip? I think it's called a lobster clip. But a lobster clip to attach to maybe like your keys or something if you wanted to attach your keys in there. When I was using this bag, I would attach my keys to my lobster clip so that I always knew where it was in the purse, because guys, this thing is big, okay? Don't let the little outside silhouette fool you. This hole got some space, all right? And when you start packing things in here, it's very easy for smaller things to get lost. So I feel like if I, not if, but when I start using this bag again, I would most likely keep the same kind of system that I keep in my, like my Goyards and my Neverfull, by having little pouches of different things, just so that I know where everything is, because trust me, it's a black hole and it's very easy to lose things in here. But like I said, there is a date code and I am trying to find it. Give me 1 second. It's been a while. All right, so here is the date code for it. It is on a leather tab. I'm going to get it as close as possible, and I hope to goodness it is focusing and you can see it. But that is the date code. I am not sure how to read Chanel's date codes, if I'm being 100% honest with you. It just says 10509.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, girl. Hold on.
It says 10501946. That's the date code on it. And yeah, it's just on this leather tab in here. And this is what it looks like. I don't know, again, if you would be able to see it. I hope you are. But yeah, I mean, guys, I've been looking for literature everywhere that I can possibly look. I mean, I've searched the deepest crevices of the World Wide Web to try to find any type of like literature on this bag from the name or something like that, and I just haven't been able to. The zippers are still very buttery smooth. Like I said, the bag is not in perfect condition. It definitely shows signs of wear and being well loved and having a rich, wonderful life. But I think with an overall refurbishment, I think with an overall refurbishment, she will do so much better. And I can't wait to start using her. I think the next time I go to New York, if I remember, I'm gonna walk with it just to like take it to the Soho boutique and, you know, have them, like I said, draw up the paperwork to see what it's gonna cost to get it refurbished, because I really think I want to start using it more and I want to start getting into that kind of silhouette more. So yes, that is the tea on my Chanel baby. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this video and show you guys. So until the next time, stay blessed and I will see you in the next one. Bye.